Three types. What is first one? Second one? Third one? What is instance variable? Member of a class. What is class variable? Static member of a class. What is local variable? Inside a method. When memory allocated to instance variables? Whenever object is created. When memory allocated to class variable? Whenever class is loaded. When memory allocated to local variable? Whenever method is called. Instance variables, in which memory block it is stored? Heap area. Class variables? Method area. Local variables? Stack area. Stack area. Okay. Local variables. Can I write static? No. Can I write variables outside the class? Outside the class is called global variables. What is the execution priority? Class variables, static blocks, next main method. Okay. Class, can I call it as data type? Is it primitive data type or reference data type? Reference data type. Object reference, can I call it as variable? Yes. That is primitive type variable or reference type variable? Primitive type variable, what it contains? Data. Reference type variable, hash code. Okay. If I create 100 objects, how many copies of instance variable created? 100. How many copies of class variable? One copy. One copy created. How many ways to access instance variable? Two ways. What are those? Object, object reference. When we have to use object? If it is required, only one time. When we have to use object reference? If it is required, more than one time. How many ways to access class variable? 4 ways. What are those? How many ways are not recommended? What are those? When we have to use directly? If it is present in the same class. When we have to use class name? If it is present in another class. But some situations we have to use class name to access class variable. In which situation we have to use class name to access class variable? Whenever local variable, class variable names are same. In that situation, class name you have to write. How many ways to access local variable? One way. That is directly. Okay. These all you studied yesterday, day before yesterday, but still variables not completed. You observe, while asking questions, all people not give an answer. You observe. Whether you give an answer or not, you know very well. Okay. Whether you give an answer or not, you know very well. No need to point out. You know very well. Here, so many points are there. Each and every point important only. You have seen yesterday how many people given right answer you have seen. Okay. So 5% people also not given right answer. You observe. In object-oriented programming, you observe. Okay. While teaching operators, control structures, majority people given right answer. But object-oriented programming, 5% also not given. You observe. Okay. That's what. Put efforts, work hard. While asking question, give answer, you will get a subject. Otherwise, you'll forget subject. Otherwise, you'll forget subject. Okay. Now, which one? Yesterday program. Okay. See. See, file, open. Yesterday, I given like this. Integer x equal to 10, static integer y equal to 20. After that, demo d1 equal to new demo. Demo d2 equal to new demo. Now in this program, how many objects are there? 2 objects are there. Then how many copies of x created? 2 copies created. How many copies of y created? 1 y created. So 2 copies of x created, 1 copy of y created. Okay. Now 2 copies of x, 1 copy of y. This is common to all objects. That's what 1 copy. This is every object different created. Okay. 2 copies. D1 dot x equal to D1 dot x plus 2 I given yesterday. Okay. D1 dot y equal to D1 dot y plus 2 I given. Okay. System dot out dot println D1 dot x. This is only I given D1 dot x, D1 dot y, D2 dot x, D2 dot y. Like this I given yesterday. You observe here. Here in this program, how many x's are there? 2 x's, because 2 objects are there. Then 2 copies of x is created. 1 copy modified, 1 copy not modified. That's what here output is 12. Here output is 10. How many copies of y is there? 1 copy. That is modified. That is the reason 22 here, 22 here. That's it. 2 copies are x is 2 copies, y is 1 copy. 2 x's are there. 1 x modified, 1 x not modified. That's what 12 and 10. But how many y's are there? 1 y. That is only modified. That's what D2 dot y also you will get a 22. See, file, save. Java C demo.java. Java demo. See, 12, 22, 10, 22. 12, 22, 10, 22. Just you ask office boy. Ask office boy, they'll arrange. 12, 22, 10, 22. Okay. Here 1x is 12, 1x is 10. Reason 2 x's are there. But there is only 1 y. That's what here 22, 22. Okay. 1 y. That is the reason 22, 22. 2 x's, 1 x modified, 1 x not modified. This is the example. Okay. Is it clear? Now, this is about variables, variables not completed, not completed. Okay. Now, this is about instance variable, class variable difference. Instance variable, class variable difference. This is now. When we have to use instance variable in Java programming, if the value is different for objects, but how to assign different values still I didn't explain. It takes time to explain. Okay. When we have to use class variable, if the value is same for all objects. When we have to use local variable to perform the task. Now, student roll number, which type of variable required? Instance variable. Student name, student address, student mobile number, student mail ID. You are selecting, no? Like that, how you are selecting depends upon your data. So employee number, student roll number, every student different required. Then every student separate copy required. That is the reason instance variable. Every student name separate copy will be there. That's the reason we are selecting instance variable. Like that you are selecting. Suppose college name, class variable. For all students in that college, same college name will be there. That is the reason class variable. When we have to use class variable, you have seen same value if it is required for all students, so all objects, we have to go for class variable. Okay. Different value required, instance variable. Same value required, class variable. Any calculation part is there, local variable. Like that you have to select. Okay. Now, university name, class variable. C language marks, instance variable. C++ marks, Java marks, total marks, local variable. C, C++, Java, we have to add. Some calculation is there. If the variable depending on another variable, total is depending on C, C++, Java, then local variable. Calculation is there. You are adding C marks, C++ marks, Java marks. Calculation is there. Then local variable. Like that, you have to choose. Okay. If say depends upon application requirement, you have to select properly. By mistake, instance variable place class variable place instance variable. If you write, many problems will occur. See, for example, just you observe. This is no need to write. Just listen. Suppose, now listen. Suppose it is a class. Class name is student. Class name is student. Listen with more concentration. While teaching, don't discuss with your friends. Okay. Listen with more concentration. See here, class name student, integer roll number. Okay, integer roll number. Now string, but string still I didn't explain. Okay, still I didn't explain. Just I'm writing string. It is just empty. I'm writing. Understanding purpose only code snippet. Name. Now roll number. Which type of variable required? Instance variable. Instance variable. Name. Which type of variable required? Instance variable. Callee name. So static string callee name. Okay. Now like this, callee name I written. Now here some code. Here some code I written. Now you observe. Here 100 objects I'll create. 100 objects I'll create. 100 objects. Then how many copies of roll number created? How many copies? 100. How many copies name created? How many copies of callee name created? 1 copy. Okay. Now, actually, integer will occupy 4 bytes. String will occupy 2 bytes. That it depends upon number of characters. 1 character is there, 2 bytes. 10 characters are there, 20 bytes. Like that will be there. That is different because that is reference data type. Till I not completed. Already given data types. Primitive data types I explained. Reference data types not completed. Okay. 1 character is there, 2 bytes. 1 character is there, 2 bytes. 10 characters are there, 20 bytes. Like that allocated. Suppose, okay, otherwise, instead of strings, we'll go for, suppose, employee number salary. Suppose, class employee, here, integer employee number, suppose, float salary. Suppose float I am selecting, salary I am selecting like a class variable. Suppose some companies, some departments, same salary also will be there. Example, there are so many departments in the companies. Administration department, marketing department, finance department, production department, departments will be there. No? Suppose for example, production department in a factories. In a factories production department, all people will get a same salary. No age, no experience. They won't count those all in a production department. Assume here production department, all employees are getting same salary. Then which variable you have to select? Class variable. Now selected class variable. Suppose 100 objects I created. 100 objects I created. Okay. 100 objects I created. Now employee number, how many bytes occupies? 4 bytes. Integer. Float salary. That is also 4 bytes. Okay. 100 objects if I create, how many copies of employee number? 100 copies. 100 into 4. How many bytes? 400 bytes. Okay. Now, how many copies of class variable created? 1 copy. That means how many bytes? 4 bytes. Total how many bytes in this program? 404 bytes. Okay. Now, suppose one more programmer, he written like this, assume. One more programmer, he written program like this. Here he selected salary, class instance variable, but same salary is there by mistake, or he doesn't know, he selected like this. He doesn't know about properly variables, he selected like this, assume. Now, here 100 objects. Then how many copies of employee number created? 100. That means how many bytes? 400. How many copies of salary created? Again 100 created, no? Again here float also 4 bytes. So how many bytes? 800 bytes. 800 bytes. You observe this, that program 404 bytes, this program 800 bytes. Okay. Now that program written by one programmer, assume. This program written by one more programmer, assume. Okay. That program, this program written by one programmer, this program written by one more programmer. Just assume. Now that program output same. This program output same. Program successfully compiled, successfully executed, you will get a same output. Okay. Both the programs will get a same output. There is no difference. There is no difference. But first program, how many bytes occupied? 404 bytes occupied. Second program, how many bytes occupied? 800 bytes occupied. Okay. Now what you will think is that can be n number of bytes. At last output is same. Here also same, here also same comes. Okay. But not only output, so many characteristics will be there while developing projects in real time. Suppose, assume both are internet applications. Assume both are internet application. Internet application you have to deploy in server system. Internet application, if it is in your system, only you can access. If you copy in real time server, either cloud server or Java web hosting server, if you copy this one, then worldwide that program any number of people at a time can access. That's what internet applications we are going to deploy in Java web hosting server or cloud servers. We'll deploy. But will they allow freely? No. Every byte you have to pay money. Every bit you have to pay money. Now that is 404 bytes. This is 800 bytes. Suppose, assume that for that 500 rupees required. Assume for this one 1000 rupees required. First money wasted. Okay. Suppose you are rich person, you are ready to pay money double also, triple also. You are ready. Suppose that is in server. This is in server. People will send request to that one also, this one also. Which one downloaded first? That will become popular. This is outdated. That's it. You observe. In internet application, 1 second also people are not waiting. Okay. Even 4G speed also, 5G speed also, they are waiting for 6G speed also. Okay. Like that. 1 second also people are not waiting. Suppose for example, you want Java tutorial. What you will do? You'll open Google. Type Java tutorial. Hundreds of sites comes. One site will click. It shows loading, loading, loading. Will you wait? Second website. Why waiting? Hundreds of sites are there. Okay. Second website they'll click. Again it shows loading, loading. Third website. Like that, people will choose alternative. If alternative not there, they'll wait. Alternative is there, no one will wait. Okay. So alternative not there, they'll wait. But alternative, so many websites are there. For every concept, so many websites are there. But in that, whichever is very quickly downloaded, whichever is having more graphics, whichever is user friendly, whichever is attractive, that will become popular. Other websites outdated. That is happening. Okay. Suppose you want to book one movie ticket. Which website will you use? Book My Show. But only Book My Show is there. Many are there. But all are using Book My Show only. Suppose you want to book a one cab. Ola. But there are so many are there, no? That in top rating. You want to search for some information. Google. But not only Google, there are so many search engines are there, no? You want to use mailbox. Gmail. But only Gmail is there. Hundreds of mailboxes are there. But all are using Gmail only. Like this, one category, one application will become popular, remaining outdated. It's happening, no? Reason that is downloading time also, performance also, user friendly also, graphics also, very quickly downloading also, lightweight application also. These all will be considered. Now, what will happen? That website will become popular. This website outdated. Why it is outdated? It is occupied more memory. It is downloading. It is taking more time. Why it is taking more time? More memory. Why it is occupied more memory? This programmer not written well. Why this programmer not written well? Is not perfect in core Java. Okay, that's it. So here you observe only one keyword you observe there and here. There and here, what is the difference? One keyword. One keyword only. How much difference is there? You observe. That's what core Java most important. That's what don't neglect. Total Java depends on this topic only. See, you will think output is same, output is same. In real time, how much difference is there? You observe. See, this website outdated. Reason, it is taking more time to download. Why it is taking more time to download? It is occupied more memory. Why it is occupied more memory? He written instance variable for that. Okay. Here is not perfect in variables. That's what he selected. That class, instead of class variable, he selected instance variable. Like that. That's what every point important only in core Java. If only if you think like output only, why instance variable, why class variable? Local variable also you can bring the output. All you can write in local variable only. You can bring the output possible. Only if you think about output, different types you can write, at last you can bring the output. It is possible. But not only output. There are so many characteristics. Time, money, performance, everything will be considered. RAM, processor, everything will be considered while developing projects. That is the reason every point important only. And you attend any Java interview, maximum questions in this topic only. And also, interview also started with this topic only. Okay. In this topic only, if you don't give answer, they'll stop the interview, they'll send back. That's it. In this topic, if you give answer, next collections framework topic is there. That is also important topic. Then they'll continue that one. And here only, if you don't give answer, that is also they won't ask. With this only, they'll stop, they'll send back. That's it. So in an entire Java, this topic is most important. That's what, listen with more concentration, put efforts, work hard. Okay. See about variables not completed, I have to explain. We have to select properly. If the value is different for every object, then which variable we have to select? Instance variable. If the value is same for all objects, class variable. To perform the task, local variable. Okay, like that we have to select variables properly. Okay. Now, still life of the variable, scope of the variable not completed. Now, integer equal to 1, 10. Static int b equal to 20. Int c equal to 30. For integer I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Like this I written. Now here A which type of variable? B which type of variable? C which type of variable? It is clear now? Now I which type of variable? Instance variable or class variable or local variable? Which variable? Local variable. Inside a method only, no? Local variable. Now this args, a string is a class. String is a class. It is called a class means it is called object reference. Object reference. But here array operators are there. Square brackets are called array operators. That is not completed arrays and strings. It is string array. There is an array concept. There is a string concept. Okay. Now it is called as object reference. But object reference, can I call it as variable? Yes or no? Yes. Object reference, we can call it as variable. Is it primitive type variable or reference type variable? Reference type variable. But this is also one variable, no? Either instance variable or class variable, local variable required. Now it is method. Actually, it is called method parameter. But method parameter also local variable. So this is further while learning methods, you learn like a method parameter. But method parameter also called local variable. Now this is also variable, this is variable, this is variable, this is variable, this is variable. Now it is instance variable, it is class variable, local variable, local variable, local variable. But little bit difference is there between these three local variables. That is, I'll explain. First of all, right here, this one, this all note. Instance variable. Instance variable. Class variable. Local variable. Method parameter. It is called block variable, no doubt. You write as it is, write it. I'll explain. Just write it as it is. I'll explain what's the difference between method parameter, local variable, block variable. I would explain. Life of the variable, scope of the variable is different. I'll explain. Life of the variable, scope of the variable will be different. That is, I'm going to explain with this. First, is it clear? Now, this is called instance variable. This is called class variable. This is called method parameter. This is called local variable. This is called block variable. And just write note. Method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. Method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. Method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. Method parameters and block variables are also called local variables. Say, inside a method is called local variable. Inside a method is called local variable. This is as a method parameter. In that line only is there. So local variable. This is in a for loop is there. But this is also local variable. You can call it. But little bit difference is there between these three. That is I'm going to explain. Okay. Now, but you can differentiate method parameter, block variable, local variable. No. Suppose here, this is method name. This is method name. With method name only in the brackets is there method parameter. What is method? Why do we need a method? That is next. After variables only we'll study. Today only possible I'll start. Now after this, inside the for loop is block variable. Inside the if condition, block variable. Inside the else, block variable. Inside the switch, block variable, like that. That is called block variable. Okay. You studied statements. Inside this block, that is block variable. Okay. Now, each variable life, each variable scope, I'll explain. Variable and life. Note. First, instance variable. Life is object. Class variable. Life is class. Local variable. Life is method. Method parameter. Life is method. Block variable. Life is block. Instance variable, life is object. Class variable, life is class. Local variable, life is method. Method parameter, life is method. Block variable, life is block. See, life, instance variable memory, when it is allocated, instance variable memory when it is allocated. See, I told already, if you give answer, you will remember subject. Otherwise, you'll forget subject. That is right or wrong. Do one thing. One day, give answers. One day, don't give answer. See the difference. Whatever you are giving answer, you will remember. Whatever you are not giving answer, you will forget. It will be happen. Okay. Now, when memory allocated to instance variable, whenever object is created. Okay. So instance variable memory allocated whenever object is created. Instance variable memory vanished whenever object is destroyed. That's what life is object. Object is created, that life started. Object is destroyed, that life is ended. When object is destroyed, that is, I'll explain, garbage collector concept is there. Object is not in use. That object is called unused object. That is called garbage. That is collected by garbage collector. It is a part of JVM. Okay. Whenever object is created, instance variable life started. Whenever object is destroyed, that life is ended. That's what that life is object. Okay. Class variable life is class. Whenever class is loaded, then memory allocated. No? Class variable memory when it is allocated? Whenever class is loaded. See, this class loaded. First, this is allocated. When this class is terminated, then this life is ended. So, class variable life is whenever class is loaded, memory allocated. Whenever class is unloaded, that destroyed. That means life is class. Local variable method parameter. Whenever method started, life started. Method terminated, ended. Okay. See, when method started, life started. When method ended, life ended. But block variable different. Block only. When for loop, suppose year this life started. Year only life ended. Before completion of method only, before completion of this one only, this is ended. That life like that. So here, as long as object is available in memory, instance variable is available. As long as class is available in memory, class variable is available. As long as method is available, local variable method parameter available. As long as block is available, that block variable available. This is called life. Scope different. Life different, scope different. Now, scope of the variables. Next, write it. Scope of the variables. Block variable scope is limited to block only. Method parameters and local variables scope is limited to method only. Instance variables and class variables scope is limited to scope is based on access modifiers. Life of the variable is different, scope of the variable is different. Life of the variable is different, scope of the variable is different. See, block variable scope is limited to block only. Method parameters and local variable scope is limited to method only. Instance variables and class variable scope is based on access modifiers. So here life different, scope different. What's the difference is whether it is there or not, that is life. If it is there, life is there. Not there, life is not there. But it is there, but you cannot access. That is scope restriction. That is called scope. Whether it is there or not, that is called life. Whether it is accessible or not accessible, that is called scope. It is there, but you cannot access. Restriction, scope restriction. See, instance variables, you observe what will be happen. Block variable life is block. Block variable scope is limited to block. Here same appears. Does not appears to you. But instance variable, class variable, that is life. This is scope. Scope is based on access modifiers. I have to teach access modifiers also. See, that is further you will see. Suppose you observe now integer B, integer C, like this we have. Okay, integer D, like this we have. Now, all which type of variables? When memory located, when our object is created. When memory deallocated, when our object is destroyed. When our object is destroyed. What is the life of these variables? Object. As long as object is available in JVM, this is available. Okay. But suppose here I'll write private. Here I'll write protected. Here I'll write public. Now, these are all instance variables only, but scope different. Life same. Now, what's the difference? Later we'll see. Today not possible. For this one, inheritance concepts also required. Object-oriented principles also required. Now, these four, you observe. It is private, it is protected, it is public. I didn't write any name here. Now, these all are instance variables. When memory allocated, whenever object is created. When memory deallocated, whenever object is destroyed. Life is same, but scope is different. This scope, lot of difference. This all scope is different, not same. That is called scope. These are called access modifiers. Private, protected, public. These are called access modifiers. Okay. So instance variables and class variables scope is based on access modifiers. While learning access modifiers, you will learn the scope. But present, these two scope you can understand. Block variable within the block only, method parameter local variable within the method only. Say, for example, here integer a equal to 1. Okay. For loop integer, suppose integer a equal to 1. Okay. Otherwise here. Now a equal to 1, a less than or equal to 10, a plus plus. Now system dot out dot println a. What is the output comes? 1 to 10. File, save. Compilation, execution. 1 to 10. Now what I'll do? System dot out dot println a. What is the output comes? Now up to here you have seen 10 printed. After that, this is one more. What it prints? What it prints? 11. Here 11 less than or equal to 10. False. It will come out of loop. Here what is printed? 11. Okay. Say nothing but 1 to 11. 1 to 11. Suppose this A, I'll write here. This variable is block variable. We cannot access here. Then error. That is I was shown while teaching if condition somewhere. While teaching for loops, I explained. You observe. This is the reason I written outside. So this variable scope is limited to for loop only. Outside the for loop, you cannot access. Now file save. See, error. Cannot find symbol. Symbol place variable A. This is a scope concept. So now A is a block variable or local variable. Now that is a difference. Now if it is like this, what is the output? 1 to 11. If it is like this, error. Difference is there, no? Reason is that is variable scope. So what you do is write this one, write that one also. First write this one. What is the output of this program? 1 to 11. Output 1 to 11. Output 1 to 11. Now, this is which variable? Local variable. Local variable scope is limited to method only. So inside a method you can access. Now, this statement is inside the method or outside the method? Outside the block, inside the method. Inside the main method is. Okay. Now, this is local variable. You can access here. It is valid. This output is 1 to 11. This output is 1 to 11 local variable. Local variable scope is limited to method. So this within the main method you can access. It is inside a main method only. You can access. But one more what I given like this. First, is it over? Is it over? See, if I compile and execute, output 1 to 11. Okay. Suppose if I write here int a, now this is which type of variable? Block variable. Scope is limited to block only, inside the for loop only. This line is error. See, file, save. Compilation error. This is a problem. Okay. Now, write this one. One more example. This is called block variable now. This is called block variable. Here error. Because block variable scope is limited to block only. Error because block variable scope is limited to block only. Error because block variable scope is limited to block only. Error because block variable scope is limited to block only. So that line is error. Is it over? Now, here up to here variables are completed. So you studied how to identify. You studied memory allocations. You studied how to access them. You studied what is the difference. You studied life. You studied scope. Everything you studied about variables. Every point important only. Now I'll ask one more code snippet. Think yourself and give answer. While giving answer, don't discuss with your friend. Whatever you know, that is give answer. Already told many times, but people are discussing continuously. Okay, that is you stop. Because what purpose I'm asking? Not for right answer. Logical thinking, to improve logical thinking. If you will think a logic, you will get a thinking power. While asking question, if you think, you will get a thinking power. If you don't think now, when you will think, in an interview you will think. Okay, immediately, spontaneously, answer will not come there also. Some practice required here also. Okay, that's what. Think yourself and give answer. One code snippet I'll give. You studied operators, you studied control structures, you studied variables, you studied class, you studied object. Whatever I taught, from that only I'll ask. Okay. Integer x equal to 10. Okay. Integer x equal to 10. X plus equal to 6. System dot out dot println minus x. Think yourself and give me answer. Your answer can be right or wrong, but don't discuss with your friend. You think yourself, whatever you know, that is give answer. Now just give answer. Your answer, whatever it may be. 16, 17, error. Any other? 15, 16, 17, error. 4 answers came. Your answer, whatever it may be, but think yourself and give answer. Don't discuss with your friend. That is, you follow. So again and again, if I say my time waste, your time waste. That's what you follow my rules and guidelines to get a subject. 15, 16, 17, error. 9. 6 also. How is 6, 4? Okay. Okay, multiple answers came, you observe. Now 15, 16, 17, error. 6 also, 5 also. 6, 5. 6 also came. 16, 3 times 16. How it will come? Only one print opposite. 4. Next. Give me answer. 1 minute. How many people answer 15? How many people answer 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay. Online students. Next. How many students answer 16? Majority 16. Online students. Okay. Majority students 16. How many people answer 17? Somebody said 17, 17 also. Not there. Change answer. See in the majority, you change answer. Okay. For online students, 4 members are there. 17. How many people answer error? One minute. Okay. Next, online students. Next. How many people answer 5? 5 is there? No one is there? Online students, 2 members are there. Okay. 6. How many people answer 6? Online students, 2 members are there. 14. How many people answer 14? No one is there? Online student, 1 person given. Now, you observe. Majority people given answer 16. First of all, this is which type of variable? When memory allocated? Where is object? How many ways to access instance variable? 2 ways. What are those? Is it valid? Is it valid? Is it valid? 3 errors are there. You observe. 40 online students, 22 offline students, 62 members given right answer. So as compared to yesterday, today increased. But still 10%, 15% people given right answer. 3 errors are there. Every line error only. You studied now 3 days, variable, 100 times I asked questions. Repeatedly asked questions again and again. Yesterday, day before yesterday, today, while starting class also many questions I asked. Nearly 30, 40 questions I asked. 3 days repeatedly asked. This is which type of variable? When memory allocated, where is object? Object is not there. How many ways to access? Object, object reference. Is there any object? Is there any object reference? Error, no? So every line error, file, save, compilation. See, 3 errors. But 16, 16. What you are thinking? X plus plus X minus 1. That is you are observing. But you are not thinking object oriented programming. Again, C language concept you are thinking. This type of questions already asked. Now object oriented programming I combined. Okay. That's what object oriented programming you need to put efforts. Okay. Now this is error because that is instance variable. Memory is not allocated, that you cannot access like this. Ready, son? Three errors are there. So as compared to yesterday, today just answers are increased. But majority wrong only still. Every line error, 3 errors are there. Is it over? Now, if it is static, now. Now, first, is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? When memory allocated, class is loaded, so that memory allocated. Okay. How many ways to access? 4 ways. Can we access directly? Valid. Okay, it is valid. Now, what is the value of X here? Here, here, here. Now 16. Okay. See, file, save, compilation, execution. Now it is 16. Ready, son? Is it over? So here x value 10, here 11, here 17. It is pre-decrement. First decremented, then printed. That's what 16. Okay. These all about variable. Next, methods. What is a class? Collection of variables and methods. So variables completed. Now methods you are learning. Okay. Class is a collection of variables and methods. Variables completed. Now you are learning methods. How many object oriented principles are there? What are those? If you want to learn these 4 principles, what we require? Still that is your learning. Now principles not yet started. For learning principle, this knowledge is required first. That is your learning. Okay. So actually principles not yet started. Language constructs your learning. For using principles, language constructs required. Language related concept you are learning. Okay. Now methods. Note on. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. So statements, if we group together as a one unit, that unit is called method. See, this is a statement, this is a statement, this is a statement. We group it together as a one unit. That unit is called method. That's what main is a method. In C language, functions, Java language, methods. C language, there is no class outside the math class. Like C++, you are calling functions. Inside a class, outside a class, both you can write. Those are called member function. But in Java, terminology changed. Inside a class, we are writing function that is called method. But outside the class, Java doesn't support. Okay. A group of statements into a single logical unit is called as method. Methods are used to perform the task. So if you want to perform any task, that code we are going to write in the method. Advantages of methods. First one, modularity. Second one, reusability. These two I'll explain while teaching examples. In Java, methods are divided into 4 categories. First one, methods with arguments and with return value. Second one, methods with arguments and without return value. Third one, methods without arguments and with return value. Fourth one, methods without arguments and without return value. In Java, methods are divided into 4 categories. In Java, methods are divided into 4 categories. Methods with arguments and with return value. Methods with arguments and without return value. Methods without arguments and with return value. Methods without arguments and without return value. 4 categories of methods. Now, is it over? In Java, methods are divided into 4 categories. Okay, with argument, with return value, with argument, without return value, without argument, with return value, without argument, without return value. I'll explain each category with examples, you'll get a clarity. Now, first one, methods with arguments and with return value. Syntax. Return type, method name, argument 1, argument 2, that is n number of arguments, statements, here return, variable or literal or expression, semicolon. This return type can be primitive data type or reference data type. These arguments primitive types or reference types. Methods with arguments and with return value. Methods with arguments and with return value. Here, return keyword, variable, literal, expression. A variable, whichever type is there, that type you have to write here. Literal, whichever type is there, that type you have to write. Expression, result returns true or false. At that time, only Boolean. Expression, if you write a plus b, that returns integer also, float also. That type you have to write. So, return after that variable or expression, literal. Suppose variable, the variable which type is there, that type only you have to specify. Here literal which type is there, that type. Expression result comes no, that result which type is there, that type. Here arguments, either primitive types or reference types. You already studied how many primitive data types are there? 8. What are those? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. What are the reference data types? Arrays, strings, classes, interfaces, dash dash, etc. Okay. Arrays also, strings also, classes, interfaces, many things possible. We'll study further. Records also, sealed class also, enumerations also, many things possible. Okay. Now, here, first what you have to do is, according to our task, we have to select, we have to write one method. Suppose your task is addition of 2 numbers. Now, first a method name you have to write. Okay. Either add or addition or something. But the word should be related to task. After that, how many type variable required? That is variables with the data types. Those are called arguments. After that, here you will write the date logic. Last result which type is there? That type you have to mention here. Now this is method we have to write. Now with examples, I'll explain. Listen with more concentration. First method I'll explain. Second method you have to give the answer. Okay. This is common code. Without class, we cannot develop application. So class name, open brace, close brace. Without main method, we cannot execute program under operating system. That's what main method, open brace, close brace. Now here I'll write. Suppose addition of two numbers. Method name add, which takes two integers. Now here what I'll do is I'll add these two integers. Integer c equal to a plus b. Return c. C which type? Integer type. That is I'll write here. Now add is a method which takes two integers. It will add. It returns one value. That is return type. Now this method. Okay. Now two variables. Here I have taken. After adding result c, that is I'm returning. That is return type. Okay. Now you studied already. Integer x equal to 10. It is which type of variable? Here if I write static, which type of variable? Class variable. Here this is called instance method. Suppose just one static keyword if I attach, class method. So before method, if I add static, class method. If I don't write static, instance method. If I add static, class method. Now main method, it is static method. But this method, non-static. Now, first of all, you write instance method heading. Instance method. A method that is defined as a member of a class. A method that is defined as a member of a class is called as an instance method. A method that is defined as a member of a class is called as an instance method. A method that is defined as a member of a class is called as an instance method. Next, there are two ways to access an instance method. First one, by using an object. Second one, by using an object reference. There are two ways to access an instance method. First one, by using an object. Second one, by using an object reference. When we are to use object, required only one time. When we are to use object reference, more than one time. Okay, write this. Use an object. Same concept. Use an object to access an instance method if it is required only one time. Use an object reference to access an instance method if it is required more than one time. Use an object to access an instance method if it is required only one time. Use an object reference to access an instance method if it is required more than one time. One time required object, more than one time required object reference. So about instance variable you studied, no, like that only. About instance variable, whatever you studied, like that only. This continuation we'll see tomorrow. Assignment, whatever I shared, that is just you tried. I'll explain after 1 week. That means already two days back I given, 1 day or 2 days back I given. So 1 week time. Within the time period, you try to complete. No need to post in a Google Classroom. Just you try. After 4 to 5 days, I'll explain how many you written right, how many you written wrong. You check it out. But everyone should try. Okay. Those who didn't get Google Classroom link, you contact admin. Offline students, you contact offline admin. Online students, contact online admin. Offline students admin, you can outside, you can contact. They'll give Google Classroom link. Okay. We'll see continuation tomorrow. Assignment, no need to submit. No need to submit.